What's going on, guys? It's your boy John, the Liquidator, coming back with another video. So it looked like Caitlin Clark is currently going viral over her new hairdo, and I got part two to Stephanie White telling her story about growing up in Indiana and the shocking truth why she left Vanderbilt. For this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. Let's go. Know every time Caitlin Clark do something, it's big time news. Well, today is another one of those situations. Well, it looked like Caitlin Clark went to the salon and got a haircut. And I'm telling you right now, everybody is going bonkers because Caitlin got a new hairstyle. With all that being said, let's pull up the pic right now, jump right into this content. Now, I thought she looked it pretty good. You know, everybody else might feel different about it, but it is what it is. So this is Caitlin Clark right here. This is currently the image that is going viral all over social media. And I'm here to tell you now, Caitlin still look like Caitlin. Long as she ain't do nothing drastic or anything like that, she's fine with me, dog. With all that being said, let's check out some of these comments about her hairdo right now. This one says she's already back in Iowa. She really travels every single day. Now, we all know Caitlin Clark was definitely down in Florida for the Pro Amateur Golf event, and she had a speaking engagement in Palm Beach. And that's about 45 minutes away from Unrivaled. I did a video earlier this week kind of comparing the distance between Unrivaled and her latest speaking event. Really tell you, still look like Caitlin Clark might be in communications with Unrivaled, but as of right now, we don't know. This next comment says she's just living her off-season life to the fullest, and that is exactly what she's doing. The way they chose that tweet is hilarious. Now, going back to another big-time story, that is Stephanie White. Now, we know Stephanie White is the current head coach of the Indiana Fever. A lot of fans might not know too much about Stephanie White because we already know there is a lot of new WNBA fans. And here on my channel, I'm keeping y'all up to date about Stephanie White, pretty much how she grew up, what it felt like winning Miss Indiana, and her time at Vanderbilt. Yes, she was a college basketball coach as well, but we finna dive into this story.
On the other hand, so it's sort of started from there. But you know, Christy, when we were growing up, there weren't a lot of girls playing basketball. So when I was young, I had to start playing with the boys. I played in the YMCA league. They didn't even have a league for the girls, so I played with the boys. Same with soccer. I played baseball growing up, in a small town as well. So there weren't a lot of opportunities for me to play with girls. So I grew up in that elementary school age, playing with the guys.
Wow. And when did you know, like, how was that? Because I played with my brother and all of his friends, and I was getting knocked around, but it made me tougher. Was that something that you experienced as well, just playing with the boys and all those different sports? What was that like?
No question. Well, first and foremost, no boy wants to get beat by a girl. So they were always, right? They were always, playing harder and being physical and really trying, at a young age. There wasn't that much of a discrepancy as we got older, certainly into middle school and high school, when I would still, play pickup with them or things like that, much more physical. But yeah, it brought out a different sort of competitive edge in me because I wasn't going to back down. They weren't going to back down. They didn't want to get beat. It also taught me a lot of mental toughness. I remember one particular instance when I was playing youth baseball. I had to have been, I don't know, fifth grader maybe. And the boys in the other dugout were making fun of the girl that was pitching, right? And then the girl that had to, so, there was nothing better than striking them out and then getting up to bat and hitting a home run. It brought out, I think, the competitor in me. It also taught me that you can't cower when haters gonna hate, right? They still do. But you can't cower when someone challenges or questions you. And I think that it really helped me along my way in terms of just having thick skin and understanding that you have to continue to push through in those moments.
Absolutely. And first of all, I need a photo of fifth grade Steph with a baseball. Need it in my life. You have to send it to me.
But that's right.
When he went on to Seeger High School after all these experiences with a lot of different sports. What was that like to step on the court at Seeger High School and go through that journey for 4 years?
It was awesome. You know, I grew up in Indiana and there was a single class system when I played. So everybody played everybody, right? Didn't matter if you were big school, small school. When you went to the tournament, it was all one tournament. And it was awesome for me. You know, I grew up in a small town. Well, everybody in our county went to one school, one high school. There's no stoplights in our entire county. So it's just a very tight-knit community. And so when I started playing in high school, it was like our games were always full. They were always packed. It was like the thing to do. I was a part of a team that I think in my entire high school career, we lost maybe 6 games. And 4 of those happened to be in the tournament to, bigger schools. Right. But it just was really a community event. I always label myself a community project. I mean, growing up, my parents were barely 18 years old when I was born. So we didn't have a lot of money. Our families, our family was really supported by our community in order for me to go to AAU tournaments and go to camps and, go do these things that got me in front of college coaches.
Right.
And that helped me along my journey, earn my scholarship. And then it was just extra special when these people in my community and this extended family got to continue to celebrate my journey.
Right. And I mean, your journey led you to be the 1995 Gatorade Player of the Year, best player in the country, Steph, and then Indiana Miss Basketball. I mean, you were talking about all those schools, and we know about what Indiana basketball is. Like, if you don't know, I don't know what to tell you. Indiana basketball is flat out legit. So for you to be a senior in 1995 and come through and be Indiana Miss Basketball and Player of the Year, what was that emotion like for you when you were told that?
First and foremost, I don't think we ever really get it when we're going through it. To me, it was awesome because
I'm in that sandwich generation where my parents marched, back in the day. And then I didn't march at all until I marched with my 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget that day on Juneteenth, marching with the Wizards and the Mystics down in DC to the Martin Luther King statue. And it was the most profound, Steph, just to find myself in that spot as a parent. And you have some beautiful boys that you are the mom to. And when you are, I mean, even if you didn't march with them yet, the principles of being a good human being are put in place, not only by being a parent, but by being a coach too. And the mentorship that encompasses both roles. What is that like for you as a parent to be able to lead in that way?
It's important, it's the most important thing that we do. And for me, I learned a lot in college athletics too about some of the things that I did and didn't want to do for my children. It's easy as a parent because you always want your children to have a better life than you did. But sometimes we think having a better life means having more things, right? And it's not. It's having more experiences, and it's opening their eyes to things that we might not have seen. Our parents did the best that they could with us. But think about the life experience that we were able to get through sport that our parents never had. And those are life experiences that I want my children to have. So everything from being surrounded by strong women every day in practice, whether it was in Indiana or at Vanderbilt or Connecticut, as it's going to be, to being champions for women.
Right.
I will never forget when my oldest came back and he was telling me that from school one day, and he was telling me at recess that they were getting ready to play, I don't know, some sport, whatever the sport that they were playing at recess. And he picked these 2 girls to be on his team because he's like, Mom, they're better than the boys. And I was like, yes, thank you. Like, this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, you got to be an ally. To having conversations about racial injustices, to having conversations about religion in our country, to, having age appropriate, difficult conversations about, how we can help others and how we can be there for others and how we can be allies for others and how we treat others every single day. And I take them to sporting events all the time. And there are often times when I take them to sporting events and I hear people in the stands and I looked at them and I say, we don't ever act like that.
Right.
Like, we don't ever say that.
Right.
That is not appropriate. That is not the thing that you can be a fan and you can cheer and you
That
can
was
love.
Stephanie White wrapping up her interview, pretty much talking about her life. That was part 2 to a video I did earlier this week. You guys can check out part 1 down in the playlist below. And until next time, y'all already know how I'm rocking, bro. Shake the haters off. I'm out of here. Peace out. Shake